talking to you.
I'm talking to you. What do you guys want to work on? You guys are quiet.
We're looking to be led this morning.
You're looking to be led. Okay.
Led.
All right, fine. I will lead you, but it's always nice to know what's on your mind, you know.
I'd like arms.
Okay, arms. When you say arms, what do you mean by that? Like, how would working on arms help you? What kind of challenges do the arms present?
To develop more strength in your arms.
Oh, okay. So, you know, I've mentioned this one before. Well, first of all, yoga can be awesome for strengthening lots of different body parts. If you want to target, you know, I keep weights by my yoga mat, and I use them with different poses. So I'll show that when I use them. You don't have to use fancy weights. You could use a soup can, you know, start with the soup can, or something you have around the house that has, what else would work? What did you say? These are 2-pounders. You could use, it doesn't have to be a heavy weight. When you're doing yoga and you're using a weight, like in, you know, when you're doing something like this or lifting an arm like that, it doesn't have to be heavy. So I think it's a nice thing to add in every so often to the yoga practice. I don't do it every day. My son taught me that you're supposed to use weights not every day because you give your body a chance to repair from them. So so sometimes I do it every other day or every third day. But it's a nice
Mindy,
thing. Yeah.
Mindy, what kind of soup do you use?
You're too funny. This has been down here for a while. This is garbanzo beans.
Oh, that's a great one.
You're funny. Organic. Leave it to Ed. I'm telling you. I wanted to show you guys something. I was reading an article, and I'm trying to remember where I read it, but I feel like I see it all over the place about text head or forward head and text posture. And almost all of us suffer from it these days from our computers, hanging over computers and phones. We've talked about it before, but I wanted to show you something. There were a few resources that the article mentioned that I thought were worth bringing up to you guys. So one of them is they're on I got this one on Amazon. They referred me to that. The article refers to it, so I bought it, but it actually comes from yoga. And this is what you use, like a yoga strap. I'm just going to show you this. I think I got to take off the jacket to show you, even though it's kind of a cold, damp day. So the yoga strap goes about here, where a bra strap would fit, even if you're a boy, right there, about right there. And then you throw it over your shoulders. Try not to hit your head. And then you cross it like this. And you pull on the straps. Does that look crossed?
Yes.
Okay, so watch what happens. All right, I'm going to exaggerate. Here's my shoulders here, okay? Like that. And now I'm going to pull on the strap. You see what just happened? Here's shoulders rounded. Here's me pulling on the strap down. Can you guys see that?
Yes, definitely.
So what that's doing is pulling your shoulder blades on your back. And then I have some students who love to walk around the house like this, or even do like whatever, their work in front of the computer with one of these on. And that's what it looks like. So you have to get a long enough strap that works for you. They do make extra long yoga straps, but a lot of people say it feels really good. It also reminds us to take our shoulder blades back. And that helps with forward head, because when your shoulders are back, then you take your ears over your shoulders, and it just gives you it's a really nice support. But of course, everything revolves from yoga. Everything originates from yoga. I'm a little biased, but a company called Back Embrace. And there's a lot of different companies. I'm not married to this company. The article that I read mentioned this Back Embrace. And so I bought it to check it out. It's made out of more of a stretchy material. So it's comfortable and you can put it under your clothes. And I tangled this thing up. But it works just like the strap does. And hold on one second while I get this together here. Yep, I hear the Velcro. Should have done this before meeting with you guys, but it actually makes the same shape. And it is easy. It goes under your clothes. So you don't, it's actually comfortable, and it comes in different sizes. Oh boy. I'm gonna fix this later and show you later, because I don't want to take up class with it. And this is my first, I showed it to, I was at a picnic yesterday and I showed it there. And then I didn't realize I should put it away more carefully. I don't want to take up time from class.
Mindy,
Yeah.
I would like to ask you about something about exercising and strength, especially strengthening exercise. If I do a lot of exercises and I think I'm really working, next day I don't necessarily feel stronger. In other words, it doesn't seem to be building up.
So it's a constant practice and it takes time. And I'm telling you, it works, but it's a consistent practice. And maybe focusing on a certain area where you're looking, you may be being very hard on yourself. I just have a funny feeling about that. And we are hard on ourselves. I can tell you with the weights that I started out with like 2-pounders, and now I'm up to like 9 pounds, but it took it took a while, a few months. And I can tell I'm stronger, but if I skip a few days, go out of town to see the kids or something and come back, I have to go back down to the 5 pound for a day or two.
Interesting.
It really is about consistency of practice with almost anything we do. So don't be hard on yourself. You're human, and you may be getting stronger than you think. But we'll talk about that a little bit in practice day. I wanted you to see this. It's very comfortable, and it could go under a shirt so nobody knew you were wearing it if you didn't want to go out like this. So I'm not pushing this brand. I think it's very comfortable. This is a medium large. I probably need the small. If you're experiencing shoulder and neck pain, I think this is a really nice idea. The other idea they had, and I didn't order it yet, and I think I'm going to get it for my daughter's boyfriend, because he's 29 and his head is going forward. He better not watch this video, right? He'll know I'm talking about him, but don't tell him. But so he's already doing this at 29. It's because he's hanging over the computer like 8 to 10 hours a day. And so something like that might remind him, but also they make these like elevator, I think of it like an elevator lift for the computer, and you can then make the computer eye level. So if any of you spend a lot of time on the computer, a little computer stand that raises it so it's eye level with you, what's the word, ergonomic, makes it more comfortable, and you might not get as much neck pain. Okay, let's get to work. Let's get to work. I know I like to show you all these little tidbits.
Okay, I'm gonna mute everyone. Enjoy your session.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
All right, let's get moving. We'll work on some strengthening today. It takes time and it is consistent. Our muscles, they are reactive to how active we are too. Let's take the shoulders up, around, and back, and just give yourself a little massage. Notice any creaking, little sounds or crunching. The body's very responsive. It wants to heal. It wants to be strong. You know, like if you're not feeling well and you spend a day in bed and then you feel weak, or a day or two in bed and then you feel weak the next day from being sedentary. So what you're doing in class today is super important. Every day that you sign on to the different classes or do some type of exercise every day to keep your strength and your flexibility and your balance and all that is as best as it can be, because you're doing the best you can. Let's take our arms out to the side, float them out. Good, and then bring your palms towards each other and gently feel your palms touching, and then inhale and open up. Good, curve your fingers down towards your wrists and then curl them up towards the sky. Notice sensations you're starting to feel. Exhale, curl them down. Inhale, lift the fingers, push the wrist lines away. Turn the palms upright. Thumbs are back behind you. Notice how that feels on your back. Let's inhale, arms forward. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms away. Good. Now press your palms down into your lap, or forward and downward, with your chin to your chest. So we're already in cat pose, lengthening the back side of the body. And then let's inhale, lift the arms upward, bend the elbows, pointing the palms at like a diag from your nose. Lift your heart. And then exhale, round again. So when we curl like this, the shoulder blades are off the back. And then we inhale and we lift the palms upward, the heart's rising, the elbows are bending. Good. Open up back into our, what do we call this? We're pressing our palms away. I like to imagine an elevator is going to close and you're pushing the doors open. Don't close on me yet. Don't let me get out of here. And now take your thumb on the inside of the palms, wrap your fingers around and circle and circle. So these kind of movements are super important for arthritis in the hand. We want to move our digits in ways that we don't normally, and our wrists and our hands. And then open up like you're flicking water off your hand, like you're flicking. And then release your arms down and lift your shoulders up. And then exhale, let them go. And inhale, lift them up. And exhale, let them go. Take the arms out to the side. Here we go with strengthening. Ready for Popeye. Take your thumb on the inside of your palms, wrap your fingers around. We're going to go real slow. You're going to bend your elbows in. Try to keep your head loose because it's real easy to bring tension into the neck and the head and the jaw area. Pull your knuckles towards your shoulders. Pull them in. And now we're going to inhale and open it up. But it's like you're using resistance. You're not just going like that, right? Use resistance like you're pushing against a strong wind, like a hurricane. Push it away. And then bring it back in. So we're going slow. We're using our strength. We're squeezing our fists here. Pull it in and then press it out. I've got my jacket on. I can't see my big muscles. I got these big muscles. Not really. But as you pull in, the muscles are activating, right? The biceps, and then pull out and shake it out. Let that go. Let that go. And now we're going to lift the right arm forward, up towards the sky. Let's find a side bend. If your arm isn't quite ready to lift up, keep it in cactus or even hand at your hip as we take our side bend now towards the left. So I'm using the right hand, and it feels really good to push my hand down into the hip first. So get really long through the right side of the body. And you might take the arm up and overhead for our side bend. Now, is this a strengthening pose? It absolutely is. Watch what happens if I let my core go. Right? So we are using our core to stay upright and not fall over towards the left. So movement like yoga brings in strength where we think we're just moving our flexibility and moving and lengthening. We are also strengthening. Open up the arm, take it back behind you, circle it around. Let's find our twist. First twist. Right hand outside, left thigh, left hand behind you. Now, anchor your sitting bones down into the chair, push them down. And then as you inhale, lift tall. Breathe in and breathe out and breathe in. Feel the sensation of breathing in and feel expansion as you lengthen up and exhale out through your nose. Good. Let's find the other side. So first we're going to do our side bend. And let's start by bringing the left hand to the hip and then side bending towards the right. You're really tacking your left hip down. Pull your belly in and up on the exhale. Feel your strength. Your core is working. Then you might come up again and go into cactus or lengthen the arm, side bending towards your right. Maybe lengthening the arm, maybe not. Now you have to keep engaging the core because more weight is going towards the right. So we've really got to anchor down. Take a breath in, exhale, push your hips down into the chair. Then you're going to feel even more of a stretch. So we got strengthening and stretching going on at the same time. Inhale, open up your arm and place your hands on your lap. Good. Let's drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder. And then slowly circle the nose down and towards the left. Take a little pause. Go slow. Go slow so you can really feel what's going on. And then again, drop down like you're making a smile as you draw with your nose or your chin. And then return the head to neutral. Okay, let's go. First, we're going to loosen up the hips. So one of the best things you can do, like if you got hip arthritis, right, joint going on there, we want to open up the joints. The joints get sticky. So picking up your right leg and circle it around. You could use a strap underneath your thigh. The leg is heavy. It's heavy. So you might do something like this. I have students who like to do this. And so we're picking it up and circling it around. And your circle can get bigger or smaller. And you can kind of play with that. And then let's let the knee move towards the right and extend the leg out to the side or keep it forward. I'm going to show you with the weights. You may not have weights with you today, and that's okay, but I'm going to show you. If you have soup cans and you want to go get it, or garbanzo beans, then you go get it. And we're going to start maybe with just, you might just do it with one arm, by the way, like you might just take this front arm forward. It's the same movement. I'm holding the weight gently, not squeezing it or anything. And then maybe the back arm. And I like to turn the palms up because that brings the shoulder blades on the back. Do you have to have the weight? No. The longer the arms stay up, the more it requires strength to keep them up, right? Don't your arms will get tired if we stay here forever. We wouldn't want to do that. And you want to make sure that where the strength is coming from. We don't want the shoulders lifting the arms. Let's take the arms down for a moment. And try to lift the arms without the shoulders involved. That's another reason for wearing one of those things around while you're practicing. You'll keep your shoulder blades on your back. So a lot of people practice with them on. So inhale, arms lift up. And then think about strength. So contracting your muscles. Let's push down through our feet. And notice how as you push down through your feet, push down through the pads of your toes and even like towards the tip of your toes, and notice the contraction in your arch. Ooh, we got a lot going on here. We are working core. We are working upper body. We are working our feet. Let's release that. Release the contraction in the feet and the arms. You wouldn't want to hold it forever because then it gets tight and actually weak. Take a breath in. And a breath out, and then I'm just going to lengthen this leg because that's one of the variations for warrior 2. Inhale, arms out to the side. Lift tall. Try to stack your shoulders over your hips. Sometimes that gets kind of funky. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. Lower the left arm down, inhale the right arm up for a reverse warrior. I like to stretch up first towards the sky and then arm is over the ear. Push down through your feet. That's strengthening. If you touch your legs, you're going to feel the muscles contract. Inhale back to neutral, arms out to the side, and exhale, release them down. I'm just going to show you, you could do something like this with the weights in a warrior 2 pose. You could be doing something like this where you're pulling them in just like we were doing earlier with Popeye. That would be one thing. You could take your arms up overhead or maybe one arm up overhead and one out to the side. So we can always find different ways to be creative to add in different strengthening methods into each posture. Okay, let's bring our legs back in, and with your feet parallel, push your right foot down. I can't see it, and you can't see me doing it. Push it down, and then release. Now push the left foot down, and touch your leg. Notice how the muscles are contracting as you push that leg down, and then release. Now push the toe tips down. Some podiatrists call this short foot, that you can see the foot's getting a little shorter. We're pushing the tips of the toes down and we're getting an arch in the foot. It's elevating. Actually, there's a few arches in our feet. And then exhale, release that. Inhale, lift the right toes. Exhale, lower them down. Inhale, lift the left toes and lower them down. Lift now the left knee. So bringing the left knee in towards you, the leg in towards you, give it a hug in. And then you may just use one arm or the strap to start circling the leg around and about. I like to think of it like the Tin Man, right? We have to loosen up just like the Tin Man did. Breathing in and out. Some nice circles. And then eventually take it to the side and lower it down. So find your version. Either the right knee's going to be forward or the leg's going to be out to the side, and you might move yourself around on the chair to get comfortable. You should be comfortable. You don't want the chair cutting into the legs in any way. Then we're going to draw our shoulders onto our back. So lift them up and gently pull them back. You don't want to pull them back so much that your rib cage is going forward and so much that it tenses up here. So you lift up and back and imagine your blades back behind you coming together. Let's inhale and float the arms up, one or both arms. Push down through your feet. Feel the knee over the heel and the front foot. Now, exhale, release the arms down. Now we're going to go inhale, lift it up, make a fist, squeeze, relax your jaw and your gaze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Turn the knuckles up, pull the knuckles in towards you. Try not to squeeze the neck muscles, and then pull out. Pull out. Now extend your fingers, spread them. Reach long. So reach long, reach your left fingers forward and your right fingers back. Notice if your rib cage is going forward, pull it back. Pull the rib cage back. Some people call that closing the barn door. Bring it back and then soften. Now we've had our arms up a while. You are building strength. You want to make sure there's a little bend in your elbow. That'll help the muscles do what they need to do. Let's exhale, find our reverse warrior. So right hand down, left arm reaches upward, get long through the left side of your body, and then find the reverse warrior. You could have your hand behind your shoulder or your head, elbow can be bent. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel this, it's an odd posture. It's a reverse warrior. So it's a little bit of a back bend. It feels a little teeny bit like a twist. And then inhale, rise back up, and let's bring our feet back together. Circle around on the hips. Circle around, get it. Make sure we get our standing time in there. Just checking out. And then circle them the other way. Circle the other way. Now we use yoga props to help with our strengthening too. So let's use one of the strengthening poses for the quads is chair pose, with or without a block, with or without a strap. It's going to depend on your needs. You can play first with the block, then maybe no block, then with a strap. I've shown that before, and we'll show it again. But so you can put the block in between your thighs. Let's start here towards the edge of the chair. You know, people say, I want to work my core. I want to work my strength. And every time you sit, you're using your core. If you weren't using your core, you'd be like this, right? You would completely flop down. So to sit up tall with a straight spine, you are using your core. It's subconscious. Your body knows what it needs to do. We can work on this though to get more toning in the right places. So tip your pelvis forward and back. So rock forward and back. And breathe in as you rock forward. And then breathe out through your nose as you rock back. So breathe in and breathe out. And then let's find neutral between forward and back. Breathe in, breathe out, feel a little toning in your pelvic floor and your right below your navel. It's called a bandha in yoga. And then at the same time, you're going to squeeze the block or the toilet paper roll, whatever you got in between your thighs. You are strengthening right now. And then inhale, let that pulling, contracting go without dropping the block. Let's do it again. Take an inhale. On your exhale, hug the block with your inner thighs. Notice how you're already starting to tone your belly. Pull up on your pelvic floor. Pull those muscles up. It's like a suction cup. And then release. Now we're gonna do it with the feet and the pelvic floor and squeeze the block. This is a lot of work, okay? So, actually, the contraction in the feet, when we strengthen our feet, it's connected to our pelvic floor. So push down through your feet, tone your pelvic floor, squeeze the block. Oop. A lot of strengthening going. Keep the face soft though, and then release. Let's do that again. Push down through the feet, maybe push the toe tips down, pull the pelvic floor in and up, tone your belly. Notice how you lift even higher. Squeezing the block. Release, let that go. If it feels like it's just too much, I can't do all that, squeeze the block. It's going to help you tone right away. And release. Let's go for chair pose. Now, for balance, you might have a chair in front of you to hold on to when you practice chair pose. So pretend I've got a chair in front of me, and I'm going to hold on to the chair as we lift. So we're going to squeeze the block. As we come up, squeeze the block. You don't have to come up high. Keep your sit bones back. Knees are bent. Now, if you got knee arthritis, then you don't want to cause pain. You may not bend as deeply. You're still building strength. And then exhale, have a seat. The block can help for knee alignment. We want our kneecaps to go over our middle toes. So that can be very helpful. If the knees are going in or out, that can put strain on them. So it's really a good thing to check that out. And the block helps because it helps keep your feet hip distance apart. We're going to rise again. So either hands on a chair in front of you, or maybe you bring your hands forward. When you're ready, push down through your feet, hug your block. Arms may move forward. They may move a little bit upward. Sit bones are back. Feel your thighs working. You are building strength in your legs right here. Exhale, lower down. You can always stay up longer than I do or shorter than you see me. You can also, I'm going to show it. I know a lot of you don't have a wall, so you can practice chair pose again while I'm showing this. But practicing chair pose against a wall can be extremely helpful. I'm going to show it like this first. So you guys keep rocking forward and back doing your chair pose, and then take a look at what I'm doing when you want to break. I've got my spine against the wall, and then I'm going to put the block in. I can stay here longer. I've got the support of the wall, and maybe a chair in front of me or to the side is nice too, like this. The longer I stay, the more sensation we're building in the thighs, we're building strength. And then we come on out of that. Slowly come on out of that, real slow. Let's do that one more time just so you see it. So take your sit bones back, come into your chair pose. Maybe you don't use the block this time. You lean your spine into the wall. You've got a chair for support. Then you lift up and you might push your fingertips away like that. One hand on the chair. Go slow. If your balance seems compromised, please don't do that pose because you can do it from the chair. So we're building strength right there. Could we add the weights on here? Sure, we could. Here we go. Actually, this is a nice one to do. Hold the weight in front of you like this. If you don't need your hands on the chair, rock forward and back. We've shown this with a stick before. And then, or the soup can, right? A little bit of weight forward in front of you. Try to relax the shoulders down. And then exhale and release. Lots of different ways to bring in more and more strengthening if that's what your goal is and what your needs are. Let's work on standing. So to get up, we can use our hands on the side of the chair and rock forward and back. And then push down through the feet and gently rise up. Awesome. Let's find our version of wall dog. Now, again, this is a strengthening pose. If it's done against the wall, you can really push into the wall. I'm going to show this. I love this wall here. I can show you with the wall. You can do it with your chair, but if you have a wall, you push your hands into the wall. That's strengthening too. You claw the wall with your fingertips, walk back. You can push your hands into the wall as you find your wall dog. Now, on the chair, you're going to push down instead of forward. So instead of pushing against the wall, you got your hands on the side of the chair or on the seat of the chair. And again, that's weight bearing. It is strengthening. We walk it back to our wall dog. Enjoy your wall dog. Pressing the palms down into the seat of the chair, clawing the chair with your fingertips. That's going to bring in some strengthening. Keeping our spine long, the crown of our head forward. Pushing down through our feet. That's going to help strengthen our legs. Maybe bend the knees. And slowly straighten, maybe not all the way. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And walk back in. When you walk back in, keep your hands on the chair. We're going to curl into cat pose. Take your chin to your chest, push down through your palms, push down through your feet. And now inhale, here's cow. Sit bones rise, heart rises, hands are pushing down into the chair. Pull the hands towards you. You might feel a little bit more stretch in your belly. Exhale, round your spine, shin to chest. And then inhale, heart forward, sit bones back. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Exhale, round. And then inhale, heart forward. And walk back in towards the chair. Take a little break. So any of the weight-bearing poses, the standing pose, we can turn almost any pose into a strengthening pose in yoga. Except Shavasana, that's a resting pose. Any of the more relaxation poses, of course, the intention of them was for relaxation. Let's play now with a version of Warrior 3. So as we do that, I'm going to take you through a few different iterations of balancing on one foot. So that's going to strengthen one side of the body at a time. Let's start. I'm going to have the chair. Let's see, what's the best way to do this? Chair is forward. I'm going to switch my weight, take the feet a little bit wider and switch the weight from one side to the other, picking up the opposite foot. Breathing, of course, inhaling and exhaling. You can have your fingertips at a wall or on the chair, or if you feel you don't need support, that's good too. But always have support nearby. So next time you transfer your weight to the right leg, press down through the right leg and soften the right knee so that it is not locking. So there's a softening there. And then I'm going to bring this over here now. When you got the weight transferred to the right foot and leg, lift up tall through that side of the body. Your toes can be down on the left side. So we've got a knee bent or soft. We're lifting up tall. We're using our core. Maybe you flex the foot and push the heel away. And then you might put it back down and take a little break. And then you might go back into it. You might lift an arm. You might lift both arms for a moment and breathe, of course, and then release. You can stay as long as you want in these balancing poses. Remember, some of the tricks for balance are to find a spot that's not moving, breathe, really press down through your foot. You don't want the big toe mound to creep up. So other side, in a transfer, rock it right and left and right. And take your time to feel the transfer of weight. The knees are soft. Feel the transfer of weight, maybe hear the foot touch down, feel the foot touch down. I'm hearing a little stickiness from the mat. And then we're gonna stick it. So now the weight is on the left leg, lift tall up and out of your waist. Toes may be down on the right side. You may be holding on to a chair that's in front of you or to the side of you. You are staring at a spot that's not moving. Maybe you lift your foot and push the heel away. Push down through the standing leg and foot. Push it down into the earth as you lift tall. Maybe take a break. Come on out of it. Shift your weight back to neutral. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's go again. Transfer the weight to the left leg. Maybe you stay on tippy toes. Maybe you lift the foot. Pull the belly in and up. Tone your pelvic floor. Maybe you take one arm out. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you take the other arm out. Ooh, little wobbling, but I know I got the chair there. Push out through the heel of the upper leg or bring the toes down. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can always come back down and start again. That's the amazing thing, right? And you go back into it like you've never done it before because you don't know what's going to happen the next time. All right, now, so we transferred our weight one side to the other. Now let's do it. I said we were going to go to warrior 3. Now we're going to transfer the weight back, where the leg's going to go back. So we're rocking right and left. Now feet are about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, but not much. Then we're going to transfer our weight to the right leg and take the left leg back. Hands are on the chair. We lift tall, shoulders up and back. Belly is not hanging out forward. We gotta engage our center. So pull the ribs back and tone the belly. You might lean slightly forward. Standing leg is bent. Leg may lift off or toes may be down. You can go so far if you want to lift it a little bit higher. You're gazing forward and down so your neck doesn't get sore. And then come back up. And we'll do the other side. So make sure that standing leg, it's still a stop,
Sound is a problem.
Kelly, come on. You hear that? Kelly's working on it.
Oh, no.